Buenos dias and welcome to More Colombian Than an Arepa podcast. I'm Sam, your host. And today I am welcomed by the most fantastic woman, Victoria. She has an amazing story. She's actually from Argentina, and I'm going to let her go all into her experience about life in Colombia. This is one of our special episodes where we have foreigners that are not from Colombia that are living here, loving life here, and explaining a little bit about their life, how they got here, what they do for a living, all the fun stuff. So thank you so much for joining us, Victoria. We're so happy to have you on the podcast.
No, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
And for this introduction.
Well, you're fantastic and you have an amazing story. And I can't wait for everyone to hear it. Victoria and I have known each other now for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And so far it's like, she's just wonderful. And so for this podcast, I thought we could just jump right in and get to know a little bit about you. So do you want to just explain a little bit about you, where you're from, and generally how you got to Colombia, how you heard about it, how you decided to move here, all the fun stuff?
Yeah. Well, I've been now in Colombia for like almost 4 years, so has been a while.
A while?
Yeah, and it was like so quick. I can't believe it's almost 4 years. So
it's crazy how fast time goes,
I
right?
know. Yeah. At the beginning, I was in Bogota for a few months, and then we moved, me and my husband, to Medellín. I'm in love with the city, so I wanted to live here. Like, I knew it. Like, I wanted to be here.
Had you visited before? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, maybe like 8 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just came here for 3 or 4 days, no more than that, to visit some friends. And back then, it was quite different, the city. I mean, right now it's so like full of buildings, full of hotels.
Yes.
But back then I love it. I love the culture, the weather, the food, everything.
Yeah.
So yeah. But asking like your questions, I got here because my husband is from Colombia. So.
Is he Paisa?
No, he's from Bogota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he wanted to live here also. So that's how we got to Colombia.
Okay.
We lived here a few years ago, like in 2017, for almost 6 months.
Okay.
We were just like figuring out what we wanted to do with life after college.
Yes.
We both studied in Buenos Aires in Argentina, so we moved here. We lived for a few months. We didn't know what to do, if we wanted to stay here or no. We went to the US, we went back to Argentina, and then we decided finally that we wanted to live here in Colombia.
That this was going to be your home.
Yeah, exactly.
So you kind of lived all over.
Yeah.
I love it.
But I think I love it here because when we got here in Medellín, we both felt it was a place that we both wanted to be, and we felt that it was a place that had all the opportunities for both of us.
Right.
Like at work, and I don't know, in the personal aspect too.
Yeah.
So it was really good.
It was just like a natural place to land.
But it was like, and kind of crazy because we don't have no one here. Like, we didn't know anybody.
No
here.
Connections.
No.
You had no reason really to be here.
No, actually no.
Isn't that so interesting that like two people that are from different parts of the world and like met in Argentina, and then you came to live in a place that is not associated with either one of you.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Like my husband, he had some friends from here, but they didn't know each other like in person because they only knew each other playing like PlayStation.
What? Really?
Yeah. So they met when we moved here.
I was just about to say, so they've met each other.
Yeah.
What?
And now we are like the closest friends.
That is from PlayStation.
Yeah.
Wait, that is so
but
amazing.
we didn't know like anybody here.
No one. When you first moved here, you knew no one?
No.
Oh my gosh, okay, we're gonna have to get into that because, okay, so you lived in Argentina. You're Argentinian.
Yeah.
Where are you from in Argentina?
I'm from Santa Rosa.
Okay.
That is in La Pampa.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe you know La Pampa because of the grill that is in here.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but the last years I lived in Buenos Aires because I went to college there.
Got it.
But yeah, most of my life I live in La Pampa.
But you didn't, so when you lived in Buenos Aires with your husband, at that time he was your boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
When you lived there with him, you both didn't feel that connection to Buenos Aires.
I mean, in Buenos Aires we did. We loved Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that if I'm not living here, I will live in Buenos Aires because it's such an amazing city. But then the second time we went back to live in Argentina, we were living in La Pampa. It's a really small place. Kind of like not too much people. So it's kind of weird for foreign people, I think. So we stayed there for like 3 years, maybe.
Okay.
Because I had a really good job
okay.
there. So we stayed, but then, well, the pandemic came and everything was kind of crazy in the world. But we have already decided that we wanted to move to Colombia.
Okay.
But we had to wait 1 year because of the pandemic.
Oh, gosh. The pandemic coming in and making everything complicated, right?
So, but after a year we moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the move then coming here.
Yeah.
So you moved to Colombia. You don't know anyone here. How was that? Like, how was coming here? How was like not knowing anyone? How was it making friends? Like, how was the very beginning? Because a lot of people come here not knowing people. So how was that for you? What was your experience?
I think that something that really helped me was my job.
Okay.
Like when I got a job here, I started knowing a lot of people. Everyone here is so nice. Like people in Medellín, in Colombia in general, but in Medellín, everyone is so nice, so kind, so helpful, and they make you feel like you are not a foreign.
Yes,
so that's
a good way
what
to
I
put
think
it.
is the most I like the most.
Yes, yeah.
So I never felt like I'm outsider.
Right,
no.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Did you speak Argentinian Spanish is like very different than Colombian Spanish.
Really different.
Did you have any issues with the language when you first got here?
I mean, not in the understanding way because I understand, but because also I have my husband. We have been together for like 10 years, so I'm really familiar with the Colombian culture and the language and everything. But it was my first time working in Colombia, so I think that was kind of a shock at the beginning because I had to learn how people treats them, like between them. In here in Argentina we are like really, I don't know, we just say things.
Yeah, you're like direct.
Yeah, we don't think too much about it. And in here everyone is so polite that I had to learn how to be like more polite, and I'm grateful for that because it made me better like in that.
Totally.
So I have to learn how to talk to people, how to be more polite, not so direct as I was in Argentina. But I also, the people that works with me is so amazing. Like everyone, they know where I came from, so they understand. Like if I say some words or I don't know.
Yeah. That they're like, oh, okay, it's okay.
Like she's from Argentina. Don't worry. Like, she talks like that. Don't worry.
I love it. That's so nice. But when you moved here, you didn't have a job, right?
No.
Like you came here. Did your husband at the time or your boyfriend at the time have a job?
No.
Neither of you had a job. You're just like, I'm gonna move to Medellín. I'm gonna make a life there and figure it out.
We were in Bogota.
Oh, okay.
So my husband's family was like really helpful. We lived with them for a few months after we figured out that we were moving here. And my husband was the first one to get a job here in Medellín, so he came and he stayed here for like a month maybe.
Okay.
Alone, started to work, find an apartment, and then I moved here without a job.
Without a job. With a visa.
No. Yes, when I came here, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. What kind of visa?
I did my visa in Bogota.
Got it.
Like conjugal.
Like, okay, yeah, like a marriage
Yeah, it's
visa.
like a marriage visa. Back then, I mean, I wasn't married, but I did some papers, and that was it.
Yeah. And once you had the visa, were you able to work, like find work here, or could you get a job here without the visa situation?
You cannot work without a
You
visa.
cannot work it.
No, you can't.
So, but once you got it, you were able to go start looking for jobs in the industry that you wanted.
Yeah, that's why it took me a few months, because when I got here, I had to do some paperwork to get my visa. That took maybe like 2 months.
Got it. Okay.
So then I didn't look for a job after I got a visa. Like
really?
Yeah, no. Because you cannot get a job without a visa. They're not going to hire you. No,
right.
No.
And it took you about 2 months from start to finish to get that visa.
Yeah, almost.
Are you still on that visa, or are you are you a citizen yet, or anything?
No, I'm still in the same one.
Got it. Okay.
I have to renew it in February, I think.
Oh, coming up.
Yeah.
Oh.
So finger crossed
Yeah,
that I'm gonna have maybe the next one is gonna be for 5 years.
Yes.
Because
yeah.
you know here, I don't know if all this are all the same, but mine is one. The first one was only 1 year.
What? Was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Only 1
Then
year?
they give it to me for 3 years. That is the one that I have now.
Ah.
And I think the next one is for 5.
Is for 5 years. That would be
Yeah,
great.
and I can be resident in the next one.
Ah, do you think you'll apply for citizenship, like residency, or
I don't know.
not sure?
Not
Maybe.
sure now.
Yeah.
Like right now, I just to be resident, it's okay because
Totally.
you don't have to do so much paperwork like
Right.
every 3 or 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Amazing. Okay, so then when you got here,
Yeah.
how did you get your apartment? How do you even like start looking for your apartment? What happened to
I
you in your
think-
apartment situation when you first got here?
I think my husband was talking with their friends that they didn't know each other in person, the PlayStation,
PlayStation
Yeah,
friends.
and some like one of them recommend a person that was working with apartments and renting apartments.
Okay.
And my husband was like working a lot by
Uh-huh.
then, so he said like I'm gonna go see the apartment and I don't know, I'm gonna sign it. I don't care.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah.
gonna get it.
You're just
So
gonna go.
he went to see the apartment like in 5 minutes. After that, he told me like actually I just took a look like on the living room and I said like I want it. I don't know. Like
That's
we needed an apartment,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was like we have to get it.
we have to
And
just
we
get
still live there, so it was good. So
it. And you love it.
yeah,
Where is it?
El Tesoro.
El Tesoro.
Close to El Tesoro. So
Okay.
it's a really nice neighborhood, really safe. You
Yes.
have malls, supermarkets, everything.
Yes. And
Yeah.
you can walk to Provenza from
Yeah.
there, which is where you work now.
I walk to my shop.
That's
yeah,
do you have a
every day.
car?
No, not
no.
yet.
No car.
No.
Are you going to get one?
We want to.
Eventually.
In the future.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because there are so many places that you can go.
There are just unlimited
Yeah.
places in Antioch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
so you move here, you have your visa.
Yes.
Your husband has a job. What's his job?
He's actually a sports journalist, but he works with bets in sports. Like bet sports.
So cool.
It's a really cool job.
That's a super cool job. So
Yeah.
does he like write articles about it or
Right now, they are kind of like reorganizing the company that he works.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, the main product they do is bets.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
It's really cool.
Does he speak English?
Yes, he does.
I
Yeah.
gotta meet him. I've never
Yeah.
met him before.
No, yeah, you have to.
Oh my gosh, I feel like
Yeah.
I've heard so many good things about him. I just have to meet him.
Yeah, he learned actually English when we lived in the US.
I mean, that's really good. It's
Yeah.
good practice when
Yeah.
you live in a place and you have to like use it every day.
Yeah, you're forced to.
You're
learn.
forced to, yeah. But speaking of, you speak English and you have a really great job that allows you to practice your languages. And can you tell me a little bit about your journey to finding your job here?
So when I got to Medellín, I was like with no job. I started looking and I said like, I think maybe in a week I'm gonna find a job. Like I knew it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find something. So yeah, I just sent my resumes to some companies, some hotels because I'm a hotel manager.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did you do hotels and hospitality in Argentina too?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I was working as a front desk manager in Mercure, that is an Accor
Yes,
hotel.
yeah.
So that was my last job in Argentina.
Got it.
Then I moved here, I was looking for a job, and after a week, they called me from 23 Hotel, that is the place where I work now. And they say, well, we only have like a position in front desk, and I said like, let's do it.
Fine.
I didn't care to start from the beginning or from the bottom.
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then.
You're like, I'm in a new city, I'm in a
Yeah.
new place, I know I'll have to
And
start.
I thought it was gonna be better for me to start there and to learn, because I had to learn, everything is different from one country to another.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
almost everything.
Everything. I mean, everything.
Yeah. So I started there working. A few months after, I was promoted to front desk manager.
Uh-huh.
Then I was promoted to revenue and commercial area. That is really cool. And now I'm the operation manager.
And you
Yeah.
you have gotten to that because you've learned so much, and
Yeah.
the hotel has like invested in you, and
Exactly.
you're learning. And
Yeah.
that's so
I think
cool.
we kind of like talk about this, but I'm really grateful to this company because they gave me a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, I had to learn a lot, and they were okay with that.
Yeah.
And they invest in me, and they had paid for like me to learn more things.
That's
and
amazing.
they have given me like so many opportunities to work in 23 Hotel in another projects that we also have with them. So it's really cool.
It's really cool,
Yeah.
and like I love when companies really invest in their like staff and their employees, and they want them to be the best versions of themselves. Like it makes me love the hotel even more. So I'm just going to plug 23 Hotel because you're like so nice, and but I am going to just talk a little bit about this hotel because it's honestly one of the most iconic hotels in Provenza. So a lot of times when you're just kind of walking around Provenza, which is the most popular neighborhood for tourists when they're traveling to Medellín, you'll see this hotel. On the outside, it's super iconic. There are big circle windows and just plants all up the side. It's absolutely stunning. And the inside is just as stunning as the outside. It is such an amazing hotel. Whenever people ask for recommendations of places to stay, we 100% say 23 Hotel.
Thank you.
It's amazing. The people there are amazing. We actually got to stay there for Nick's birthday earlier this year, thanks to Victoria, and it was so special. Like the staff took care of us. You have everything. You have one of the most beautiful rooftops there with a huge jacuzzi, a beautiful restaurant. It's just all around fantastic. And
thank you.
It makes me love it even more because they've invested in you, and you're such a talented person.
Not only with me. I mean, that's what I like being there.
Yeah.
Like, I have had other like jobs opportunities here, but I always chose to stay there.
Yeah, because it's just so great.
I know. Yeah, and the people that I work with, I love them.
They're so great. I've met a couple of them, and they literally are so great.
Yeah.
Like the best. And you have events at the hotel too?
Yeah, we do.
Do you run the events, or is that someone else?
No, someone else.
Someone else,
Yeah.
okay. So
I used to do that last year, but now no.
Got
we
it.
have another person for them.
Got it. So yeah, Victoria has you've been working there now for how many years?
3 years and a half,
years.
a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Almost since I got here.
Almost since you got that. I love that though. That's so. And then your husband is still. He has always been a sports.
Yeah, in the same company.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about jobs. We've talked a little bit about visas. We've talked a little bit about moving here. One thing that before we move on to another topic, let's go back to the moving here. I remember you telling me a little bit about how you brought your cats here.
Yes.
Can you tell me that story again?
Yeah.
Because it's so amazing.
Me and my husband, we had 2 cats back in Argentina. So when we decided to move here, it was like we are the 4 of us. We are coming to Colombia. Like we are not gonna like discuss.
Yeah.
We are taking them. They are part of the family.
Yeah,
so,
they're your cats.
So I mean, about the paperwork, it's not like too much. I mean, you have to get the vaccines. In Argentina, it's really cute because they give you kind of like a passport. I don't know if in another countries they give you that,
so
but
cute.
it looks like a passport.
For the cats?
Yes, and they had the picture of the cat. And the
Okay,
name, the
no.
weight, everything.
I love that.
It's really cute because we were traveling, the 4 of us, like with 4 passports.
Oh
it was really cute.
my gosh!
Yeah.
Stop it! That's
because
amazing.
it's like a passport, and in there they put like the vaccines and everything that they had. So yeah, it's really cute. But the paperwork was fine. It was like not. It was easy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You have to. I did some research on the internet. I went to the vet. I talked to them. They helped me a lot. Like, you have to get this because there is some time before you are traveling that you have to get the vaccines and everything. So that was okay. But when we got to the first flight, it was crazy.
From your hometown to Buenos Aires.
We took actually 3 flights to get to Medellín. The first one was from my city to Buenos Aires. It's just 1 hour flight. And we have 2 cats, Marco and Rita. Marco, he's like really quiet, really chill, so relaxed all the time. He sleeps almost all the time. But Rita, she has quite a personality, so yeah.
What a nice way to put it.
Yeah. So when we got to the first flight, she was like, I don't know, like yelling, like crying,
sweet baby.
and everything inside the cage, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, this cat is not mine.
this is not my cat. I don't have an entire day of flying ahead of me.
So in the first flight, after like 10 or 15 minutes flights, some person, I don't know, in the plane, he started yelling like, there is a cat under my seat. And I was like
there's
please
no way
don't be
that's
my
mine.
cat, please don't be mine. And I looked under my seat and Rita wasn't there. So it was Rita like running outside the plane.
How did she get out?
He I don't know, she ate the
Escape artist.
Yeah.
Escape artist.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
So it was crazy.
Did she get better on the other flights, on the other two flights, or?
I was really worried because that flight was only for 1 hour, and the next day we had to take one flight from Buenos Aires to Bogota. That is like 7 hours almost.
Oh my god.
So I'm not gonna lie. Like when I landed in Buenos Aires, I told my husband like, I think I want. I mean, I didn't want to, but I think like I had to leave Rita with my sister here in Buenos Aires. Like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take her for like 7 hours flight.
Yes.
So, but I mean, I knew that I wasn't.
Yeah.
Like I had to.
You had to.
There,
yeah, she's your baby. Yes.
So we went to buy a new cage. We talked to some other vets in Buenos Aires in that day. They recommended us for some things like some natural things.
Natural medications.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
kind of calm
I didn't
her.
want to give her like more medication because the first one didn't work, and she wasn't feeling good actually. So no, it wasn't good. So, but in the other flight it was better.
Okay, good.
Kind of better. I don't know. I just put my headphones and I cover her with my husband's jacket for her to feel like the smell.
Yep. To feel the comforts.
I was like, if she's yelling, I don't want to hear like.
Yeah, you're like, nope. We're just gonna get to Bogota and then we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
Oh, and so she made it. You all made it. The four of you made it.
Okay.
And the cats are doing well. They're thriving in this perfect climate city.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
No, we're good. But yeah, it was kind of like a traumatic experience.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah, I was crying after the first flight. I was like crying and crying. I didn't know what to do, but you know, it's kind of like the moment.
I'm stressed out just even hearing about that.
When I think about that, it makes me like feel like I have headache just to thinking about that moment and everything I lived.
Now you're here for good. You're never leaving. You're never going through that again. No.
I'm here for good.
I told Nick, because when we brought Goose down, our dog, I told Nick, I was like, that's yours and your mom's responsibility. I will meet you in Medellin. So I flew like a couple days earlier, and he flew down with my mother-in-law, and I was like, there's no way. Like my anxiety would probably be worse than Goose's anxiety. So
no, back then I was saying to my husband, like, because he was traveling with Marco, and I was like, you got the good one. Like,
why didn't you take the hard one?
Yeah.
Oh, but you made it. You're here. We're all good.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to ask that because a lot of people do come here with their pets.
Yeah.
And so it's always good to hear like other people's stories about flying with their pets here and like what you do to get past that. And pets, like all animals, are super. I often say this, they're super resilient as long as they're with their people. So it's hard, it's an adjustment, but they do get adjusted faster than you probably think. You have to ask.
No.
Is there any place for a stamp?
No.
That would have been so awesome.
Maybe you can ask like
We'll make our own stamps. But okay, so we've now talked a lot about like moving here and everything. I want to talk a little bit about how you've made friends. You talked about in the beginning, the people here are just so nice. So how have you like made friends? What kinds of things that you do now here to meet new people, even if they don't become like your best friends? But how do you meet new people outside of work? And just like generally speaking, how does making friends here look like for you?
I mean, I think at the beginning it was kind of hard because I was only working. Like I didn't do much of just work and go home. I think it's normal or common at the beginning. Then I started like meeting up with my husband's friends, the PlayStation friends.
I love that.
Yeah, and their girlfriends. So actually, we go out a lot with them.
Amazing.
So they were like our first friends in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, but right now most of my friends are from my work.
Yeah. Do you like do any classes, like exercise classes or anything, and meet people that way, or do like any foreigner events or anything like that?
I do cycling.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Cool.
But in those classes you don't talk too much.
No, you,
so
like,
it's like you just go and do cycling for like 1 hour and just leave.
Yeah. But like it's still a good way to get out and talk to people if you want to.
But I mean, when I say in my job, there's the people that I work with, but I also have met a lot of people because of my job, like you.
Yes. Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
It's a great way to meet people.
Exactly. So that's kind of a way to meet people for me.
Yeah.
But I know in the city there are a lot of activities for foreign people to know other foreign people or even Colombian people.
Yes.
I love going to a ciclovia.
Yeah.
And they know there is a running club. Like every Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah. They meet at the La Frontera.
Really?
Yeah. Like at 8 or 8:30.
Do you do that?
No, I don't. But I know it exists.
Yeah.
But it's a running club. I think it was a foreign person that made it.
So it's a good way. That's a great advice. I never even knew about that. I want to join that. That would be fun.
It's really cool. They do like all the ciclovia, I don't know how much kilometers or everything.
No idea.
And they do a branch after that and everything.
So cool.
So,
there's so many events and like so many ways to meet people here, I feel like.
I mean, in Medellín is full of foreign people.
It is.
Right now.
Yeah, right.
So that's why I think there exist so many activities like language exchange or cultural exchange or like dance classes and everything.
Yes.
So there are so many activities to meet other people.
Yeah. So okay, so that you're so right about that. There are just absolutely so many ways.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you're open to talking a little bit about celiacs and like your experience with being gluten free here in a country that's like very heavily gluten.
Yeah.
Would you be open to talking a little bit about your experience with that? Because there are a lot of people, like I have a really good friend who sometimes gets a little nervous to travel because it's hard to like understand if you don't speak the language. It's hard to tell people you can't eat gluten and you're like actually allergic to it. It's not because you're choosing not to eat gluten.
Exactly.
So can you tell us a little bit about like how you found out? You lived here when you found out it.
Actually, I found out in December and I moved here in January. So I always say that my celiac life has been only here in Colombia.
Only in Colombia.
Yeah. So I learned how to live being celiac
abroad.
In here. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so tell us a little bit about that.
So right now there are a lot of products. Luckily for us, in the supermarket you are gonna find like almost everything. You can find a gluten-free product.
Yes.
Like I love eating pasta, for example, and there are so many options of gluten-free pasta in the supermarket.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part maybe is going out to restaurants.
Right. Yeah.
So because it depends on the place that you're going, but in some places they don't really understand about the disease or like it's hard for them to understand. So
like it's not a common thing here.
No, even the word celiac or celiaco in Spanish, I don't even say it because most people here don't know what it is.
Don't know it. Interesting.
So I just say that I am allergic to gluten.
Okay.
So it's kind of easy for the people to understand.
Yes.
Even sometimes they don't understand gluten, like the word.
Right.
So I just say I'm allergic to wheat. Yeah.
I mean, like, and you can't have it mixed in the same, like, pan.
No.
If someone deep fries, like, chicken, with, like breaded chicken, you can't even use that same deep fryer.
No.
And so do you tell the restaurants this, or...
I tell them, but I'm not like really detailed. I just go to places that I know they are gonna be like take care of that.
Yeah.
But it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like going out to have dinner or lunch or breakfast or whatever. Yeah, it's not like really easy. But I go out. I go to a restaurant and everything. I just try to explain.
Right. Yeah.
I finger cross.
Yes. Do you find that it's gotten easier over the years, or is it still, like, are restaurants still not aware of it?
I mean, here, not that much.
Okay.
Like, no. No. But there are some new options, like new restaurants in the city, or like bakeries also. There are bakeries that are only gluten-free.
Wow, so cool.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
How do you find out about those bakeries? They're like, how do you do that?
I started Googling, like on Google, and then on Instagram.
Okay.
And then I'm part of a group that is, I can't remember the name, but it's like a celiac people from Colombia.
Okay.
So we are in a group in Instagram.
Okay.
And we share like news in there and products and everything, like doctors.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And
so
that's how you
really
find
helpful.
it. Yeah. How do you join that group? Like, what is a way to join that group?
I think they request me like on Instagram because I was following like celiac or looking for gluten-free things in Colombia. So maybe the algorithm shows
you all that. That's amazing. It's good because especially in a country where celiac is not a popular, like common, maybe it happens more, but they just don't understand. Even that's it. But
like going to the doctor here, for me, some doctors, they don't even know about celiac.
So interesting. For such an amazing healthcare,
it was weird for me because in Argentina it's like really common.
It's same in the U.S.
Yeah, I think in Argentina it's like 1 per 100 person.
Really?
Yeah, so that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But we have, it's not like a celiac law, but kind of.
Right.
So the law forced the companies that produce food to put like a stamp that says that you can eat it or you cannot.
It's like gluten-free or, I think that's the same in the U.S. Like most products have to do that.
I mean, sometimes I get some U.S. products.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good that it's starting to, like, you can find these things at the grocery stores and the supermarkets. Like, it's good that you can do that, but definitely there's still a ways to go before it's, like, easier for you. But the group that you're in is great. Like, you get to learn a lot.
I remember it's called Voces Celíacas.
Perfect. I'll put that in the show notes so that if anyone else wants to join.
It's really good because they recommend also, like, doctors that they are...
Amazing.
Specifically working with the celiac people.
Amazing. Yeah, I'll put that in. If you can send me the link and I'll put that into the show notes because
it's really cool.
I imagine there are a lot of people here that are celiac or they have a gluten-free diet, you know, one of those two, which is very popular. And so it's when you first were telling me about your celiac journey, I was just like, that would be so helpful for someone who is here, who's living here for 6 months and has no idea where to start in a country where, like, a lot of things are, like...
I mean, at the beginning, it was really funny because I was going to the supermarket and it took me, like, 3 or 4 hours inside the supermarket because I was reading everything.
All of it.
Yeah, because I had to learn about the products here in Colombia.
Right.
They are not the same in Argentina. So I was... reading everything, like like ingredient, everything. Now it takes me less because I know every product and everything. Right. But at the beginning, I was like 3 hours in the supermarket.
Oh my
reading everything.
And then you would like take photos of the ones that you're positive were okay, so you could always come back to them. Oh my gosh. That would be so much time. You've done all the hard work, so now you can tell your knowledge to other people who don't want to do the hard work for that. But no, that's amazing. Thank you for telling, like, being open to sharing that and helping other people who might be in the same situation. But I'm so grateful that you've been on this podcast. Is there anything else that you want to, like, talk about or share with anyone who might be interested in moving here from another Latin American country, another Spanish-speaking country, or anyone just in general who might be interested in moving here?
Well, I mean, my kind of like message is to come. Like, Colombia is such an amazing country. There are so many nice places to go. I love every time I have like the opportunity I travel somewhere new in Colombia. I love going to the beach here.
Oh, yes.
There are so many nice places to visit and to go. the people is like, I think it's one of the nicest people I ever known.
In the world.
In the world, yeah.
Yeah.
They're really kind. Every time my family comes to Colombia, they are like impressed how kind people is. Like, they cannot believe. Like, they get in the bus and if you ask anyone, like, they will help you get anywhere.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
So, I don't know. I think it's like a friendly country for foreign people.
Yeah.
And that's not easy to find because, I mean, there are no other countries that sometimes it makes you feel like a foreign. But here you are not. So,
yes.
Yeah.
It's just like the nicest people in the whole world, and like very, like you're saying, like very hospitable and warm.
Exactly. And in Medellín, I mean, the weather I think is perfect. The food. Even if you're celiac, the food is great. Yeah, the food is great. I have gained, I don't know how many kilos since I moved here. Like, I eat arepa like every day.
As you should. Arepas are like the greatest things ever. Oh, I love it. Any other tips that you want to give about moving here, or if you want to plug your hotel or anything that you want to add?
Well, if they are coming to visit, they have to stay in 23 hotel.
Yes. Go.
Or you can just stop by, go to a restaurant. We have a rooftop also. Yeah. And if they are thinking to move to Colombia, just do some research like about the visa and everything to get your paperwork done. But it's kind of like an easy country to move to.
Amazing. Good tip on the visa, like to do your research on the visa. I never thought about that, but that's a really good tip.
And everything is on the internet right now. Like, you don't even need like a lawyer or anything.
No.
I mean, sometimes it depends like on the situation, but you can do it on your own. Like,
totally.
Really easy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
If you do come to Medellin and you do want to stay at an amazing hotel, 23 Hotel, ask for Victoria.
Yeah.
She'll come say hey. If you are just listening in, we post this on Spotify and Apple Podcast and YouTube. There we go. And so you can see our lovely morning faces on Spotify or YouTube. Check us out on one of those platforms. We also have social medias on TikTok and Instagram at More Colombian Than Arepa. If you want to follow our personal account, we do document our life pretty much every single day. We've worked with 23 Hotel and Victoria before. Check us out at Colombia_expats. But thank you so much.
No, thank you for inviting me.
You're so fantastic. We are so lucky. I'm so lucky to have you as a friend and in my life in general. But also so lucky that you decided to join us today and be part of this.
Thank you for inviting me. And I was really excited the first time I met you because I found you on Instagram and I think I told you the first time we had lunch. So I was really excited to know you, and you're both really nice people.
Victoria messaged me on Instagram, and it was so funny because she was like, I work at 23 Hotel. I'm like, yes, I'm coming. When can I meet you? Let's hang out right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Muchas gracias. We're very lucky to have you here. And stay tuned for the next couple of episodes. And we will talk to you soon. Until next time.